Hey, what's going on, guys? Living here, and I want to show you guys a 61-0 Trench Raider gameplay. I know my title says 59-0, and that's because you'll see I have 2 kills coming up here that I don't really consider under the Trench Raider class. But regardless, pretty cool gameplay I had going on here. I wanted to do one on Soissons. I have some crazy streaks on the other DLC maps that we had that I'll link in the description on the side and then on the card, so if you want to go check those videos out, you can. But I hadn't had one yet on Soissons, so I thought I'd do one on Soissons specifically because Soissons its gameplay is a little bit different how to use a Trench Raider kit, I think, just because you have so many tanks you have to deal with and whatnot. So what I really like to do here in the very beginning, though, is I always like pushing the bridge if I'm spawning up on top of the hill. If I'm spawning towards on the other side and the other team, I'll place one down the road up there a little bit, because I know sometimes some tanks like to roll down that road there, and then I'll always leave my extra one right there on the side. So yeah, that's basically what I like doing there in the start there, kind of because you get so many tanks that roll up on this capture point here on C, and giving yourself any little advantage to help take those tanks out will help you out a lot, considering the Trench Raider kit is not a good class to take out tanks at all. So only thing you really have is some really weak grenades that you have, and those barely do any damage. So any type of advantage you can get to take out the tanks, the better. So I'd seen a guy who had ran over here, and I wasn't sure if he was going to still be over here or not. But I figured they start coming over here sooner or later, and one guy does show up, and I'm able to take him out pretty quick. Fortunately for me, wasn't pressed too hard over there by C when grabbing that kit. Sometimes I'll lay in that little corner there where you saw me. Other times I will hide myself in the actual house. Neither of them are, I think either or is fine. I just think it's always remember that the kit's picked up at 102. So as long as you know the timing of the kit, you can keep yourself out of trouble, hidden, and then pop yourself out at the 102 mark, and be able to grab the kit as quick as you can. So here we are. We're over at C. I'm gonna try to hold down C because I know that we were able to hold down B at least, and I'm gonna make sure that they can't grab B as much as I can. I'm trying to get some spots on that guy right there. I'm not too concerned about taking shots. I'm gonna put the gas mask on over here because I got a good gas grenade. Gonna hurt us a little bit. And once I see us, we have C secured. I'm gonna go press over to E. Actually, one thing I want to be careful of is the line of pass that I start taking to avoid tanks, because I see a tank rolling up right there, and I don't want to get in the way of that. I don't want to make myself a target. Especially when you run across tanks seem to really want to take you out. So if you can avoid them, do it. And especially on this map, you're going to have to do that a lot. Don't bother just being around the tanks at all. Just move away from them as quick as possible. So I come up over here, and I realize that there is I want to take out that first tank up there. I want to see if there's a line of sight. I want to use these artillery guns as much as I can. Like I said, this elite class here doesn't favor you very well to taking out tanks, so having these artillery guns on the map are very helpful. So I see, of course, an artillery sniper truck across the map, and it's only going to take 2 shots for me to take him out. So before he can even realize what's even hitting him, he's out of there. So yes, utilize these artillery weapons on the map when you're using this, and you will help yourself out a lot. So when you're capping E here, they're usually going to spawn right up there to my left or behind me up on the hill if their spawn point is down by E at the very beginning of the game. So I usually just wait outside right at the front right here, right at the very edge, just so I can instantly start taking out the enemy players right when they roll up. So as you see, one of them's going to roll up right there. I'm able to take them out. I'm not wasting any time. I've noticed this a lot lately. As you can see, this player over here spawned up there by the hill as well. So I noticed a lot lately, people are trying to play the objective so much, and there got to be a fine balance between killing people and playing the objective. And so if you can't find that fine balance and you're just hiding, and you think if you just hide there, you're going to overpower people by having enough manpower, it's going to be very difficult, especially when you're trying to stretch the map out a little bit and you're moving ahead of your teammates. I think it's kind of a little bit of wishful thinking. I think you need to do some type of aggressive gameplay where you gotta take people out. So I like putting myself out just right there at the very edge, because of course everyone thinks you're in that building right there. And so far there's been no really meta I've seen of anyone who's been really sticking themselves out right there at the front, waiting for the enemy player, just hiding behind the pillars. So I mean, I've had maybe a couple snipers maybe here and there that have kind of spotted me across the map and seen me a little bit, but rarely I've ever really seen anyone coming up see me. As long as you don't have your gun sticking out or anything like that, you can hide up there and really get a jump on the enemy team. So that's what I've been kind of doing lately. I haven't seen much of a meta of that, of anyone doing that, so you can be pretty safe to be able to do that probably about a good 70-80% of the time and get away with it. So yeah, we were able to hold that down pretty well. So they're over here by B and A, so I'm gonna try to help my teammates out over here. I am watching my lineup pass, and every pass I'm trying to take to avoid any type of conflict. I'm gonna run in with tanks. So kind of the mindset I've had behind it is, if you run into tanks on this map, just move away from it. And even if you're on a territory and you feel kind of like, oh man, I'm trying to capture this territory, don't be stubborn. Move away from the tank, get around a territory where, no one's at. Run across the whole entire map to go after it. Like, I went over there to E, like a completely the farthest away territory you could grab. It's totally fine. You lose one battle, you're going to win the next 9. So if you can't handle a tank, or if there's too many players around you don't feel comfortable around, run away, move away, get yourself healed, get yourself in a better positioning, because you'll lose one battle, but you're going to win the next 9. So don't be concerned about it at all. And don't feel defeated about it. Just regroup yourself, get yourself healed, get yourself out of their line of sight. Make sure you're not on spot, because a lot of them will try to spot you and have a good, remember, and try to, let everyone know where you're at. Get yourself out of that position and get yourself in a better spot to do more damage. So I want to be careful for this AT rocket gun over here. That's again a very dangerous weapon that can easily take you out. So I'm trying to respect a little bit. I get a little bit of aggressive here. I have some, this map, on this round here, I had some pretty aggressive gameplay. So I have a lot of moments here where I would consider it unnecessary. You don't have to do it. Because when you're winning a game like this, you don't have to be as aggressive as what I was, but at least you'll be able to see a side of it where what would you kind of want to glean from if you are trying to play a little bit of aggressive, and what you could get away with. So yeah, so basically we were able there to hold down B. I'm seeing them going over. My teammates are helping down over at A. They're having actually a really hard time taking me out. So what I'm going to do now is go back over to E, because I know that they're going to try to contest D after I hold down C over here. You'll see this is one of the situations I'm talking about where there's a lot of people on C. I don't feel quite comfortable. I'm able to throw a nice little grenade there, but the capture point will tell you a lot of information of where people are at, how many people are there. There was no need for me to push that, get myself killed really quick, just reset myself. And just by pulling me back right there, we go. Now we're able to hold down C. So, don't feel, like any need to not have to pull back, heal yourself up, get yourself in a better situation. They get one jump on you, you're gonna win the next 9. So don't be too concerned. So, fortunately here I'm able to sneak up from behind them, and they don't see it, and I'm able to get a good 4 kills right there. So. Yeah, that was, that's what you do, just remember that, and, you'll save yourself some unnecessary deaths. So I'm going to go over here, push over to E. Now, I'm being very careful. I'm taking this pass specifically, because there's one thing you're going to get yourself killed a lot on, or it just causes a lot of problems for you, is you will be up on that hill, and the angles of that hill are in such a way where you can easily just get shot at by artillery trucks who want to snipe you, or even just any other tanks that want to snipe you across the map on either side, regardless if they spawn, if the enemy team's spawning on this side of the game or they're spawning where I usually spawn, they can shoot you downwards as well too. So you want to take certain angles and paths that eliminate that as much as you can. As you can see here, I get one of my other kills that I was talking about by using the mine kill that I had laid earlier in the game. But so as in that instance here, I'm running by the wall. I'm not trying to push up directly towards the D, because I know that pushing up into that angle there will give me such a position for them to shoot at me, and as well too, snipers will spot you as well too going up that hill. So I took that line of path to run up on the side of that wall there to avoid that. So here you see me playing a little bit more aggressive now. I pushed myself over to E. We already have we have all the other three bases. We're losing A right now, but I'm gonna stick over here by A. Show some aggressive gameplay over here by A. I'm being sensitive to the fact of the information it's giving me on the flag. I saw people falling off on the flag, so I figured they're trying to push me on the side. I could hear them running around on the water there. So yes, keep in mind that everything on the flag will be giving you information of where your enemy team's at. So I jump on there on the horse really quick to give myself some ammo. Never forget that any horse that's left around is a free ammo supply place, so just jump on those really quick and you'll be able to resupply yourself. And so yeah, I'm able to throw grenades and cause some problems right there. Now I'm gonna move out. It's such a dark area right there, and because of the dark area that's right there, you know, I'm able to come in really quick and do some brief damage and then move out. It's very risky to do that, because if you ever have a guy who's behind you because I mean you're dealing with 4 or 5 players right there, and if you ever have a guy who's right in front and behind you, one melee swing from him will, you know, melee you and kill you. So just respect that and realize that if you're going to do that, do some really quick swings and then move yourself out of there as quick as you can. Re-heal, move yourself back in. You know, as long as you're getting 1 or 2 kills, you're going to slowly destroy the enemy team. And before they know it, they're not going to have anyone to help them out. So, enemy player throws a flare in. Smart play on his part, but I'm going to throw some gas. They have, I think, a gas grenade or something going on there. So I'm going to heal really quick. Keeping that gas grenade keeps me off the spot so they can't see me. And so now I'm still listening in. I hear them pushing on the other side. So I'm going to meet them on the other side. Those are the two classes, though, with their weapons that can be very dangerous to go against. It is this is the assault class with the Hell Regal, and going up against like the bar for the support class. Those classes can mount you pretty bad, so you gotta respect those classes, just like you'd want to respect the medic classes, scout classes for wanting the bayonet charge you. So realizing that the different classes are going to use different ways to try to take you out majority of the time. So I rarely see, obviously, light machine gun classes have no bayonets on them, so they can't bayonet charge you. So you never need to be concerned about that. Rarely do I see, not too often, do I see assault classes trying to take me out with a bayonet charge. Some of them do, but it's not all the time. Majority of the time, they're always trying to shoot me. But when it comes to scout classes and medic classes, respect those classes, because those classes are normally going to want to take you out by trying to bayonet charge you. So I'm always trying to respect that. So now they're really trying to go after me here, and I am moving on the sides. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to cap E, but I mean we do have the majority of the territories right now. So really, what I'm just doing is being a nuisance to the enemy team, and they're just really focused on me so much that they're not even going to be focused on trying to attack the other places. So that's what I've basically been doing here. Normally what I'll do if I get so overwhelmed, which in this case I could have done it, but I was more aggressive on this round, was right when I jump over here, I'll just keep jumping those walls and hide behind those walls over there, and then work my way all the way down the wall and get myself out of the situation completely. That's one way to move yourself out. Not necessarily the best place to try to move yourself back up to D, because everyone's going to see you there. You have that large hill you have to climb up of. If the best thing you could do, you could run down the wall going straight ahead, right where I was kind of looking right there. That would be kind of a better path for you to go away, and then loop around the hill. Like I said, try to avoid these hills as much as you can, because you're going to get a guy who's got an AT rocket gun. He's going to drop down, lay down, he's going to start trying to snipe you with this. So that's what usually someone will do, or you just have your typical sniper class that will try to take you out. A lot of different things try to take you out, like I said. So that's why on this map I wanted to make a video on it, because you know, you'll find these kind of weird instances just because of how the map layout is and the vehicle, how many vehicles you have on this map. So unlike Rupture, where it's more of a flat, you know, type of gameplay. I mean, the most you have off of a hill part is right there around C where the bridge is at, but everything else is pretty much flat from there. You have a little bit of a, you know, some hill parts, like coming up to the rest of the other. When you're in C, it's much of a, you know, dip, because there's a bridge and there's a river right there, and you have to move yourself back up. But once you move yourself back up, everything else from around there is all flat. So, and it's much larger than Soissons from the distance between the capture points. So, as much as they're all 5 territories, these all 5 territories are much closer together, it feels like. So yeah, it's something that and having having the two tanks on Rupture isn't quite as dangerous as having the 3 on here. So and to imagine there's 4 on here, and that's pretty crazy. But yeah, so I did kind of something right there I wouldn't recommend. I was running right down that hill. I wanted to get myself in a good position to throw those grenades and get some multi-kills there and relieve some of the pressure that was in there, which I was able to do. Be careful about that, especially with the behemoth out. There is a behemoth out right now. and you'll find a lot of people as well too. They'll jump into that, and they see you in your, especially if you have your streaks going. When you have your streaks going, they really want to take you out. So respect that, realize smart players are going to adjust, you know, and so you're gonna need to adjust with them too. Usually you'll get a hint by it when they start playing differently. You'll see a guy who will stop trying to maybe bayonet charge you, and he'll start getting AT rocket guns. You'll see them shooting at you, or maybe you'll see an increase in people who are trying to bayonet charge you. You'll start seeing it happen. You'll start seeing people trying to do different things because they realize what they're doing is not working, so they're like, the hell with it, I'm going to try something different to do. And so you need to start adjusting to how they're playing. And if you keep doing that and adjusting to how they're playing, your streak's going to stay up. So. And you want to keep this class as much as you can, not even for the streak so much, but just the fact this class is, I think, the best elite class in the game. And as you can see here, I'm completely controlling the game everywhere I'm going. I'm able to do what I want to do, and it's because of this class here. So, you know, this class is way better to have in your hands than the enemy team's hands. So, you know, because you don't want to have someone who comes around and knows how to use this kit and helps bring their team back because they know how to use this kit. And you're, you know, being sloppy with this kit, you end up dying and losing it and giving your enemy team a chance to get back in the game. So now I'm doing something over here that I wouldn't quite recommend as well. Like I said, I was playing much more aggressive than I have been lately, or I think it's kind of necessary in this position here when you're doing so well. And that is the fact I was around where that behemoth was at. But I was in the canal there, so normally you'll be pretty okay if you're in there. But you still just want to be, you know, you want to be careful, of course. So I'm going to come up behind here, though, and flank the enemy team. I wanted to come up there, push towards C, but I end up fighting a guy that's around there, and he does a squad spawn on his teammates. So that was fortunate for me to be able to do. And I got a guy who's trying to push me from behind. Fortunately, the scout class doesn't see me there. This guy did a smart job over here. I was kind of impressed by that. I was not expecting him to move around that wall there, but I was expecting him to chase me around that wall. But, yeah, because what I'll normally do is I'll try to escape certain situations. I'll make it appear as if I'm doing something and I'm not. So I'll jump over a wall really quick, and they think, oh, he's going to jump over that wall. He's trying to run away from that wall. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm jumping away from that wall, and I'm going to jump around the wall again and loop around behind you, and you're going to think that I'm running away from you. But really what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting myself so I'm behind you now. So I do that a lot. Probably one of, like, the oldest moves in the book. But you'd be surprised how that works like 95% of the time. I rarely see it any time happen. I mean, I've seen it like once or twice from people. I can count how many times on my hand. I've seen it from people who were like hesitant to charge at me when they saw me like move around a rock really quick or move around a wall, and they're so convinced I'm behind that rock, and they end up finding that I'm right when I go around that rock or that ledge or whatever wall I'm going on, that I'm just popping right back around on the other side. And it just completely just messes them up. It lowers their gun, lowers their aim, lowers everything they're doing, and it just messes them up and just catches them off guard so many times. So, like I said, probably the oldest trick in the book, but it works so many times. So, yeah. So we were able to hold down C pretty easily again. See the Trench Raider class at its best going on over here. Just kind of watching because I know they're still trying to push out over here. I had some weird stuff going on over here, but I see I was having a hard time like killing people. But yeah, this is where you want to be very careful. And you'll see the situation right here, I think. No, not right here, but I think I already actually had it happen. But you want to be very careful when you're swinging in these trench-like areas, because the moment you swing and you shoot with your gun, if you shoot with the pistol or if you swing with your gun, you instantly are making that grunting sound that you'll hear the Trench Raider kit making whenever you're at the enemy team. And that's this little way of trying to kind of like give away where the kit's going to be at. They try to not make this kit, you know, balanced, and so you'll find that if you're in the trenches and you're swinging, you want to be very careful about that, because you're going to give away your spot by the grunting noise. The guy knows generally where you're at with that sound. And as well, too, when you kill the player, there's that skull and crossbones that your enemy team can see on his map of where his teammate had died from. So you want to respect that, because I've noticed a lot lately, playing the Vel Knights especially, that people have been listening in, and then they instantly bayonet charge me. And because there's such a narrow passageway in those trenches that you don't have much lateral movement to move around. You know, if he's out in the open, if he tries doing that, you know, a quick circle move, a big loop that you make, they're not going to be able to turn and catch you because the turn radius has been nerfed enough where they can't make these sharp turns anymore. But you do want to be keep that in mind when you're in these trenches, because there is not much of a turn radius that they need. And with that straight narrow passage, which not much turns for you to make, and you're going to get yourself bayonet charged. So just keep that always in mind. Plan your strikes as the best that you can, and don't do unnecessary swings if you don't have to. So you see there, I killed that guy there. I was kind of keep this in mind. I throw a smoke grenade, so guy can't see me, and I'm able to run up to him before he even knew it. I swung at him. So if that would have been a bayonet, that was of course a support class, not a scout class. But even if that was a scout class, he would have probably done the exact same thing too. So pretty cool game regardless. I had one of those cool little instances here at the end where you end up having the most capture flags and most defense flags, so I thought that was pretty cool as well too. But yeah, it was all around a good game. I want to highlight that and put that on my channel so I can kind of have like a collection of each map that I've done and giving my perspective on it with the Trench Raider class there. So basically that's it for you guys today. I appreciate you guys being here and watching, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.